Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Trix and I have autism and DID and complex PTSD, which stands for DID, dissociative identity disorder, and complex PTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And today I want to talk about 10 life lessons I've learned as a 32-year-old woman with these conditions. What I have learned in this world by this age. Let's get into it. Number 1. This world is not built for me. So that is why number 2, I need to customize it for myself. And let me tell you more about what I mean about that. The world is not built for me. As a default, the world is not very friendly to neurodivergency and neurodiversity and to really any mental illness, or autism is not a mental illness, it's a disability, but to mental illnesses and disabilities and other conditions. The world has a default and it's not that. Just let's say that. And I have then realized that to live in this world I need to do things my way. If it doesn't affect other people, it only affects me, then I can do it my way and don't care about if it looks weird or if it's not the usual stuff. And that is something that has been easier with age. It has been easier now when I'm a little bit older than I was before. So an example can be, so let's say that I stim a lot. Like, stimming is repetitive behavior to process information from the outside, like flapping your hands or wiggling your toes or shaking your legs or use fidget toys and stuff like that. It's actually easier for an autistic or a person with ADHD that stims. It's easier to process information if we do stim, so it's a good thing. And I have realized that even if it looks odd, I bring with me my fidget toys and my stuff and just stim in public if I need that, because it doesn't hurt anyone. If someone thinks it looks weird, then they are allowed to think that, but I'm also allowed to exist. And that is something I have learned with age. So let's go on to number 3. I need to say no more often than I want to. And let me expand on that. What I need by saying that I need to say no more often than I want to is because I naturally want to say yes to everything, but then I get exhausted and tend to do more than I can physically do and mentally do, just to please others. And I tend to say yes to everything because I want to care for others, because I am a helper by my nature is to help everybody else before myself, and I know that's not really that good. I'm not a egotistical person in that sense, because I always thinking about others and I really want to help. But I have realized the older I get that I need to say no at least half of the time, just for my mental and physical sake. I felt this point was a little bit rambly, but I hope you get what I mean. Move on to number 4. Trauma is not just ruminating memories. that is something I have learned, because I haven't always been that into what trauma means. And when I learned what trauma means, I learned that, especially if you have a diagnosis that has to do with traumatic stress, but also if you don't have that, you have regular life trauma, it's not just about ruminating memories, because it's so much more deeper than that. It's physical, it's in your nervous system and all of that. It's a lesson I have learned. Number 5, healing takes twice as long as you have planned. Healing takes twice as long as you have planned. And that is just a fact. You can't really schedule how fast you will heal, but always count that it will take twice or even 3 times longer than you will expect. Number 6, DID is not as it is portrayed in social media. It takes many forms, and you can switch internally as well. That was something I learned a pretty long time ago, because I have always watched these DID videos on YouTube, and I never ever felt like I could see myself in them, or that I could relate to them. Although I have DID myself, I couldn't relate to them, because those videos that say switching on camera and stuff like that is more often than not, even if it is people have DID, I think they turn on a show for the camera, and I think they switching on purpose, even though they might have the ID in the end as well. I don't say that they don't have the ID, I just say that it is a show for a camera most of the time, because I have never switched on camera, because I won't turn on the camera. It's not the first thing I think about when I'm about to switch, when I have a day that is very triggering, that is very, like, I'm feeling like I'm not the original Trisha, it's more of my other personalities or alters. I'm not in a mood for setting up a camera, and I don't know, it feels fake, even though the person might have the ID as well. Number 7, you have to accept that you will never understand every experience of a neurotypical person will have. And that is something I have dealt with and made myself to make peace with. And that goes hand in hand with number 8. You must also understand that sometimes people won't understand your experience, and that's okay, as long as they aren't rude. And I have thinking about that. I have been thinking about that a lot lately, that it's not necessary for people to know everything about you. It's not that you have to be understood in every moment of your day or in your life. And I feel like, yes, people want to be understood, but sometimes I feel like I'm just saying to myself, okay, that person didn't understood me correctly, but whatever, is their problem. So I'm shifting the perspective of, okay, I was not understood, but it's their problem. Maybe I'm not saying that to that person, but I'm saying it to myself to calm down, because I don't want to be upset on that person. So I'm shifting the blame a little bit, but I do it inside of my head. I don't have to say it out loud. And it's okay to not understand everything unless you are not rude about it. Number 9. Autism is not something that makes my life worse. People's perception of my autism, it was makes my life worse. That's pretty self-explanatory what I mean about that, and that's also why I am talking about autism online. And yeah, number 10. How cliche it sounds, it's still true. Bloom where you are planted. Use what you have available to thrive. That is also a lesson I have learned by the age of 32, and that is also self-explanatory, and I don't think I have to expand on that. It's what it says it is, and yeah. Did you find any of these things reasonable or interesting, or made your life better or inspiring, or do you have any opinion or reflection? Please put it in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I always forget to tell you that, but like and subscribe, and I see you in my next video, and bye.